was Michael Jackson. Known as the King of Pop, Michael Joseph Jackson was a best-selling American singer, songwriter, and a dancer. As a child, Jackson became the lead singer of his family's popular Motown group, the Jackson 5. He went on to a solo career of astonishing worldwide success, delivering number one hits from the albums Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad. In his later years, Jackson was dogged by allegations of child molestation. He died of a drug overdose just before launch comeback tour in 2009. Michael Jackson enjoyed chart-topping career both with Jackson 5 and as a solo artist. He released the best-selling album in history, Thriller, in 1982. When and where was Michael Jackson born? Michael Jackson was born on August 29, 1958 in Gary, Indiana. Michael Jackson was one of 9 children. His mother, Katherine Jackson, was a homemaker and a devout Jehovah's Witness. His father, Joseph Jackson, had been a guitarist who put aside his musical aspirations to provide for his family as a crane operator. Behind the scenes, Joseph pushed his sons to succeed. He was also reportedly known to become violent with them. Joseph Jackson believed his son and talent and molded them into a musical group in the early 1960s that would later become known as the Jackson 5. At first, the Jackson family performers consisted of Michael's older brothers Tito, Jermaine, and Jackie. Michael joined his siblings when he was 5 years old and emerged as the group's lead vocalist. He showed remarkable change and depth for such a young performer, impressing audiences with his ability to convey complex emotions. Older brother Marlon also became a member of the group, which evolved into Jackson 5. Michael and his brothers spent endless hours rehearsing and polishing up their act. At first, the Jackson 5 played local gigs and built a strong following. They recorded one single on their own, Big Boy, with the B-side You Have Changed, but the record failed to generate much interest. The Jackson 5 moved on to working as the opening act for such R&B artists as Gladys Knight and the Peeps, James Brown, and Sam and Dave. Many of these performers were signed to the legendary Motown record label, and the Jackson 5 eventually caught the attention of Motown founder Berry Gordy. Impressed by the group, Gordy signed them to his label in early 1969. Michael and his brothers moved to Los Angeles, where they lived with Gordy and with Diana Ross of the Supreme as they got settled. The Jackson 5 was introduced to the music industry at a special event in August 1969, and the group later opened for the Supremes. Their first album, Diana Ross Presents the Jackson 5, hit the charts in December 1969 with its single I Want You Back, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart shortly afterward. More chart-topping singles quickly followed, such as ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There. For several years, Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 maintained a busy tour and recording schedule under the supervision of Berry Gordy and his Motown staff. The group became so popular that they even had their own self-titled cartoon show, which ran from 1971 to 1972. Despite the group's great success, there was trouble brewing behind the scenes. Tensions mounted between Gordy and Joseph Jackson over the management of his children's career, with the Jacksons wanting more creative control over their material. The group officially severed ties with Motown in 1976, though Jermaine Jackson remained with the label to pursue his solo career. Now calling themselves the Jacksons, the group signed a new recording deal with Epic Records. By the release of the third album for the label, 1978's Destiny, the brothers had emerged as talented songwriters. The overwhelmingly positive response to Michael Jackson's 1979 solo album Off the Wall helped the Jacksons as a group. Triumph 1980 sold more than 1 million copies, and the brothers went on to extensive tour to support the recording. At the same time, Michael continued exploring more ways to branch out on his own. In 1983, Jackson embarked on his final tour with the brothers to support the album Victory. The one major hit from the recording was Jackson's duet with Mick Jagger's State of Shock.